afternoon, lacrosse fans, and welcome to the Junior B Tier 1 National Championship game, the 2025 Founders Cup Final, live from the Seven Chiefs Sportsplex on the beautiful Tsuut'ina Nation. As your host, the Calgary Shamrocks organization is proud to welcome the best junior lacrosse players from across the country to Calgary, and we have not been disappointed. Today's Founders Cup Final features the Ontario representative, Kahnawake Hunters, facing off against the British Columbia representative, the Coquitlam Adanacs. At this time, we ask that you please rise if you are able and remove your hats for the playing of O Canada, followed by the Iroquois anthem.
In the spirit of respect, reciprocity, and truth, we honor and acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the people of Treaty 7, including the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising of the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Goodstoney First Nations. The city of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. This land has long been a gathering place for many Indigenous peoples. We recognize and honor all nations, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, who live, work, and play here and who continue to care for and enrich this territory. This is what it all comes down to. A chance to etch your name into the history books, and we're going to bring you all of that here right now live from the Wolf Automotive broadcast booth, celebrating over 100 years serving Alberta drivers. Wolf Calgary, Chevrolet GMC Buick at 768 101 Street Southwest, right off Stoney Trail. Same ownership, new dealerships, and home of the Oil Change for Life program. It's BC Sports TV. It's Tino Farah. It's Cody Jansen. It's the Founders Cup Final. a trophy on the line, and it's going to be the best two teams through this tournament. It's the perfect 4-0 Coquitlam Adanacs, first place in the A pool versus the perfect Kahnawake Hunters, 4-0 in first place through the B pool. Let's get this thing going, shall we? It'll be the captain, Ben McElargy, with the first touch off of the face-off win. The Kahnawake Hunters have cruised through this tournament so far, 13-9, 20-6, 10-5, 12-6. All of their scores to this point. Darian Murray tucks his stick, shoots, and it goes into the chest protector of Casey Lahas, but they score the rebound!
This was kicked back by the defender. A nightmare start for the Hunters. Murray takes the shot, look at Sideer, kicks it back, trying to keep it in the crease, actually kicks it into his own net. 26 seconds in, the Adanacs offense catches a break of their life.
You have to be perfect to beat Casey Lahash. Sometimes you got to be lucky as well. Sideer with one of the rare mistakes he's made in this tournament, but believe me, he will bounce back. Darian Murray is going to get credit for the goal, as he was the one who took the shot. Lahash comes into this game with an .842 save percentage. He has played every minute for this Hunters squad, who now go to work at the other end of the floor. Awi Francis fires wide of Ben Tebow. Tebow with an .860 save percentage and a 5.45 goals against. He's played all but 20 minutes. It was only the third period of their first game that he was given off. Cody Jansen, Ben Tebow has been one of the best goaltenders all tournament long.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to need another great game for him. No one except for Mountain View has really been able to play with the Hunters.
Here comes the former Adanac, came in Daibo up top. Rice with the jab step, gets his hand away. Now shoots a bouncer, handled well by Tebow. Got to be careful of that crease call, and the Adanacs will get it up to Lalonde. Lalonde's going to stop up here. So Richardson comes in and spins away from Sideer. Deer doing a good job on Richardson. He gets a little help as well to pin him along the boards, and Warren Oaks in. That shot is soaked. Tylan Daibo takes that off of his shoulders, saves his goaltender from having to make a save. This is the first time the Kahnawake Hunters have been in the Founders Cup ever, and they are immediately into the final. Remember, they took down the defending champs in the Ontario finals. A dramatic series that was. Daibo looking to the far side. Tebow just got a piece. It's a reset for the Hunters. Back to Awi Francis. Rivera, so creative with his shot selection. Fakes the flip pass, and the save is made by Tebow. Always got to be aware when Winter Rivera is on the floor.
A lot of experience on that Kahnawake Hunters bench as well. Last time the Founders was in Alberta, 2015. It was Brandon Francis and Akwesasne who took that one home.
Awi Francis was on the Akwesasne Thunder a couple of years ago when the Founders Cup was in Port Coquitlam. He's got some experience in these kind of big games. Cody, if you were to mark down a key to this game for either side, what would you say?
For the Hunters, it is that defensive prowess, but you got to toe the line. You cannot sit in the penalty box. For the Adanacs, it's the offense. Who's it going to come from?
That shot didn't get through. Rebound, though, is handled well by Tebow. I know the folks in Coquitlam right about now are saying it's Tebow time. So he makes a couple of early saves and remains up 1-0. Richardson gets top side. Far side is Twomley. He has been dynamic for the Adanacs as he shoots, and it's a kick stop by Lahash, and a big one at that. Lincoln Twomley, one of the pickups for Coquitlam ahead of the Founders Cup. 13 points through their 4 games so far.
I know a lot of people are going to look to this and be like, well, goaltending's obviously key. With this game, not at all. Both these goalies have been dialed all week long. I don't see anything changing.
Here is Daibo. Through the middle, it's knocked down by the Coquitlam captain, Ben McElargy. Sends it ahead himself. He's working with Robinson. Banks is up the play, across to Robinson, and no goal! Lahash falling back, able to rob the transition of the Adanacs. That close to a 2-0 lead. Dylan Martin. How big has he been for the Hunters all week? Daibo, far side. There's a tuck underneath and a shot, and it's in and out of the stick, but it's in front. Scores! A loose ball in front, and the Hunters able to put it over top of Tebow.
Well, you play by the rules, the refs decide, and they say this is a fine play by Taha Albany. Dumps his defender in the crease, picks up the rebound, a little scoop and score. It's in the back of the net. I know the Adanacs aren't going to love this one, but hey, as long as it's called both ways, you let the boys battle it out.
Yeah, you play to the whistle. Jack Hall doesn't like it, neither does the netminder, but we're back to even. A couple of weird goals to get things underway, but I think you can call the first one net neutral now after the Hunters get one back. The officials have set the tone here. Now it's up to the players to make their adjustments. Matty Dane, joined by brother Adam, who stumbles. Shot short side from Murray, that's wide. Runs into a double team, still with it. He'll shoot, and a nice save with the glove by Lahash. Interference, though. It's going to give possession back as Murray was knocked down to the turf by Marcus Daibo. Kai Hartley on the strong side for the Adanacs. Gets through, fires. It's wide of the goal, and a big rebound sends the Adanacs back towards the center line. Here's some pressure, though, from Daibo. Henrik Lucas comes over, as does Kai Hartley. It's still down on the turf. It is technically Adanacs' possession. They only have 10 seconds on the shot clock. Don't think they fully realize that as Henrik Lucas gives it away. Daibo was busy on that shift. Owen Rice to Cayman Daibo. Won a Minto Cup with the Junior A Adanacs last year. Daibo from the point, far side, nice toe drag, nice shot, and it's another stick save from Tebow. Connor Gorman could not put it between the legs.
Gorman's been great all week. 6 goals, 16 points. He's part of the dynamic duo of lefties with him and Francis. They tower over everyone.
I'm not sure there is anybody that shoots the ball as hard as Connor Gorman. Now on the run, Matty Dane. Talk about a size mismatch there against St. Chief Moon. Comes over on a slide against Twomley, who gets knocked down. A heavy hit as he was falling. He goes into the legs of Darius Jones.
Zane Chief Moon, remember the name. He's a local product, played Junior A here in Calgary with the Mounties. Now he's playing his final year of juniors out east. He is one of, if not the best defender in this tournament.
Gorman to Awi Francis. He can do pretty much everything on the floor. Beat you with power, skill, finesse. It stays through the middle, and there's a high hit that goes uncalled, and it's a loose ball collected by DeWitt. DeWitt is a guy that can play on the edge. Expect him to be involved in every aspect of this game. Darian Murray draws the matchup of Cy Deer. Murray spins away. Swings, far side, Adam Dane, a heavy one, wide of the goal, back to Richardson. On the toe drag, he'll shoot a twister looking top shelf, and it's stopped by Lahash. Oh, and a lucky break for the Adanacs. Richardson went through the crease and then was next to touch, no call in the play. Now Matty Dane, down to Adam. Near side, Murray is back on. It's gonna be a righty strong set. Murray circles into the corner. Muscled off his path, but keeps his footing. He'll shoot. Didn't get through. No, they'll say Lahash caught a piece. And I don't think the Adanacs realized it. Darian Murray was heading back to the bench, and the ball was right behind him.
Well, 8 minutes in, now you think that the nerves are going away, and we'll start to see the true, authentic styles these two teams can play.
Owen Rice, fake shot. There's a man open in the middle for a moment. Rice is pressured by Lalonde. Now down low to the crease. A jab step and a shot by Rivera. That'll go wide and out of play. The Adanacs were in the Founders Cup final a few years ago, and they fell to that red-hot Nepean Knights team. And this is, I believe, the entire coaching staff, or at the very least the majority of the same coaching staff that was in that tournament. They've been sitting with that sour taste in their mouth ever since. A nice pass in front. The shot from Lucas is wide in tight, and then he's muscled off his footing. Awi Francis from his defensive zone, directing a bit of traffic. Not in any rush to cross that center line, and why would you be with an offense that can create something out of nothing? Speaking of, here's Daibo to the top. Francis on a rip, and it's stopped by the glove of Thibault. Budnick has it dislodged from his stick. Daibo is an absolute beast on the forecheck, and you're seeing why here. Plays his angles better than almost anybody else in this tournament. On the run go the Adanacs. Richardson has to split through a few defenders. Running out of time, though. 8 seconds to shoot. Murray down low. Richardson off the post, off the back of Lahash, and it's in. Adanacs reclaim the lead.
Leads the team in points with 14, and the leader puts them up to 1. That is a perfect fake, and sometimes you get the bounce that goes your way. This one goes off the iron, off the back of Lahash, and over the goal line. Toes are out, perfect placement, and it's in the back.
Might actually gone post to post.
Might be a double post.
The rare double post. And in this tournament, leads against the Hunters have been equally as rare. They were in an absolute doozy of a game in the opener against the Mavericks, and even that finished 13-9. This team has rolled ever since. Rivera, there was a man open back door. Rivera tucks through, he'll spin and send to the far side. Gorman, a bouncer, and a great save by Thibault. Deep in the corner. Loose ball is still up for grabs, but eventually collected by the Adanacs. It was Luke Banks getting it ahead to Robinson. Every loose ball in this game is going to be contested and crucial. Nothing is easy when there's a championship on the line. Hartley jabs and sends it to Freeman. No goals yet in the tournament for Xander Freeman. Twomley sends that wide of the goal, but Xander Freeman, you know that's a stick they would love to get hot here. 22 points through the playoffs. Taking down the Nanaimo Timbermen, New Westminster Salmon Bellies, and then eventually and finally slaying their dragon that was the Victoria Shamrocks. And remember, a BC team has never won the Founders Cup before. I mean, they have going back to the previous era of it, but it's been since 1971. And when I tell you the name of the team that won it, you might understand how long this has been. The Victoria McDonalds, if that rings a bell to anybody at all. So, you know how important this is to the BC representatives in Coquitlam, but you know how hard it's going to be when you're going up against a team as dynamic as Kahnawake is.
And they've got 3 medals in the last 5 tournaments. It's not like they haven't been close. They just haven't got to lift the Founders Cup, and that's been the goal all year for Tyson Abbott and company.
As soon as training camp starts, I would argue even before training camp, the Adanacs organization, they thrive on pride, on culture, and on winning. And they would love to become the first team since 2014 to win a Founders Cup in the same year that their team wins the Minto Cup. The last team to do it was Six Nations. Now, it was not the Six Nations Chiefs who won the Founders Cup that year, but same city. I think you get the point. As Daibo He'll shoot around a screen, and that aggressively goes off the neck protector of Tebow, and Daibo goes right back to the crease. Yeah, I think Ben Tebow's ready for this moment.
9 saves in the opening 11 minutes for Ben Tebow between the pipes.
Here come the Adanacs once again. Over top, it's Richardson. Underneath, Twomley, saved by Lahash.
That was inches away from going over the goal line.
It was a close one. Lahash has been arguably the best goaltender all tournament, and if you're wondering who the next one would be, it's the goaltender at the other end, Ben Tebow. Skip feed across to Rivera. Works towards Lalonde, and a good slide by McIllargy. Feed to the outside, and that shot didn't get through.
Keenan DeWitt, we've talked about him ad nauseum in certain games because of just how good he is on both sides of the floor. Defensively, he soaks multiple shots per game. He can stay in play. He can score in transition. Keep an eye on foreign goal.
One of those guys that plays with an edge. Nice feed down low. Adam Dane sends it wide. Still 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lucas sends it behind everybody. Forced into a tough spot. He'll shoot, and it goes off a body in front. And who else would be right on the hands of the forward trying to shoot? It's Zane Chiefmoon. Rice sends it in deep. Awi Francis has come back on. It's going to be a righty strong set. Pass intended for Francis over to Cayman Daibo. From his wrong side, he'll skip across to the near. Spinning back into a double team. Now through the middle, and the pass was just left behind. Now McLean gets ahead. Miles Archibald turns on the Jets to retreat a little bit. It's the right call. He had a defender all over his back. Richardson put his team up 2-1. Matty Dane working with Adam. Near side, Richardson, jab step and a spin, shoots through a defender, and it didn't get all the way through. It's off the inside foot. It's going to be a bruise for Jensen White, but he'll be all right with that bruise if he's hoisting a trophy by the end of this game.
Couple of those slashes by Daibo look to get to Richardson as well. He's giving it a couple shakes on the bench there.
Francis wants the return pass, doesn't get it. It's a drive through instead, and a bouncer that whistles wide. Suggo Rice close to tying the game, but just not close enough. And here come the Adanacs with speed. Banks wants it, the shot instead on the run from Robinson, and that goes out of play. The drums have made their way into the arena to cheer on these Hunters. Dylan Martin takes a peek and connects with Suggo Rice. Now Gorman, skip pass, Rivera, saved by Tebow. Safe to say, if he sees it, he's stopping it. Ben Tebow, what a tournament he is having here. 5.5 left. Twomley sends it deep to Matty Dane. Through the middle, Freeman on a set play, couldn't handle the pass. It ends up behind the goal.
Kahnawake is averaging 14 goals per game. Right now, they have 1 on 12 shots.
Yeah, they knew the assignment. We talk so much about how dynamic the offense is for the Hunters. I would make the same point about the defense of the Adanacs as Rice is robbed by Tebow. This Adanacs team has one of the meanest defenses. Now DeWitt, speaking of, it alone, robbed by Lahash!
You look away for a second and Keenan DeWitt has a hat trick, or has a breakaway.
I'm not sure if we're seeing any hat tricks in this game with these two goalies. Gorman forced away by the Coquitlam captain. Suggo Rice, not going to beat Tebow there. Close to back in, but McIllargy knew exactly what he was doing.
It was Dylan Martin with the hat trick. Doing research and trying to talk. Sometimes double duties doesn't work out.
It's been a long week at the Founders Cup for everybody involved, broadcasters included. One more game to go as we work our way through the championship. We saw the Tier 2 trophy handed out earlier today to the Seneca War Chiefs, as Lahash had 2 Adanacs pinned behind his goal, clearing space for his defenders to break out. They'll try the hidden ball trick. Awi Francis and Owen Rice got their signals crossed. Now Gorman on Robinson. A healthy slash there. There's a fallen Adanac, Rivera. He'll shoot! He'll score! Into the top corner. Winter Rivera ties it up.
10 goals on the tournament, 21 points to put him in a tie for first of the Founders Cup. Winter Rivera locked, loaded, and released to the top shelf. That is a perfectly placed shot.
Watch him take a look at his stick just to make sure it's in there. The Adanacs just a second late on the slide. You cannot give a player like Winter Rivera that much room to shoot, because that is exactly what's going to happen. 10th of the tournament for Rivera. Certainly in the running for the tournament's MVP. There's a few candidates in this game. Both the goaltenders would find themselves in that category as well. The Adanacs have held the lead twice in this opening period, but the Hunters draw it back to even each and every time. Now Suggo Rice connects with Martin. Down low to Owen Rice. Through the middle, Martin, and that hit the post. It'll be a reset, and Suggo Rice couldn't find the loose ball. He'll continue to battle because the Adanacs are having a hard time collecting it, and Martin ended up finding it deep in the corner. It's a reset for the Hunters. Those little things are going to make the biggest difference for the eventual champion of this tournament. Rice, Martin. Pass was just at his reach, and it's knocked away by Lalonde. There was still 7 seconds on the shot clock, but the officials blow the whistle. It'll be a reset for the Adanacs. Both Adam and Maddie on the floor together on that far side. Hartley tucks through, goes to the goal. Lahash makes the save. He just got enough. Hartley tries to reach around and put it underneath of his arm, but Lahash makes the stop. A close call in front of the Kahnawake crease. Awi Francis drives through. It stopped, another rebound punched aside by Tebow, and DeWitt collects. A bouncer ahead to Robinson, and he's knocked off. I think you could hear some footsteps as Connor Gorman was closing in on him. The Adanacs wanted a penalty on the call as DeWitt had his head go back, but the officials say play on. Don't hate that decision either. The Adanacs were a part of that game against Queen City where the march to the penalty box was more or less a parade. Twomley gets topside. Don't think he realized how much time was on the shot clock. Oh, and the referee takes an unintentional elbow to the face. Battered and bruised everybody, including the referees.
Chief Moon was all over Darian Murray that shift. I think that's going to be a matchup we see for the rest of the game.
Daibo now into the final minute. Suggo Rice to Owen Rice. He'll look in front. Martin was all alone. Still was for a moment. Now Daibo fires wide. Adanacs, they want the early shot likely here. They have numbers too. Shot off the glove of Lahash. Rebound to the near side, and side ear is going to take the interference call. Does Coquitlam want a timeout here? The ball is still down. They're going to get a more or less wholesale change, and looks like they're just going to go. Tebow is inching closer towards the bench. He's going to go for the 6-on-5 set. Lincoln Twomley is going to be the extra attacker. Murray takes a peek behind him at the only scoreboard in the arena. It reads 17 seconds and 2-2 late in the first. Murray takes another peek. It drops down to 10. One more. He's going to wait for 7. Now he'll go. Richardson up top, opens up Twomley, gets back to 2 hands. Murray from the crease. He'll shoot. Runs into a body, and he stepped down at the last 10th of a second. They got their look, couldn't find the finish, and surprise, surprise, Casey Lahash and Ben Tebow have been outstanding in the biggest game of the tournament.
Yeah, Tebow's been the busier of the two. He's made 14 saves through 20 minutes. Lahash with 10 himself. And boy, not many have been easy in this game. We knew how good the defenses are. I think the offensive ability is going to be the next question mark. Who can really take that step ahead? You expect a bit of a seesaw battle, but what team has that player who has a big game? There's only one guy so far tonight that has 2 points. That's Darian Murray. The Adanacs have 11 goal scorers throughout this tournament. They have the depth. I would say Kahnawake has that top-end talent. One has to give.
20 minutes has wrapped up. There is still a ton to be decided and a trophy to be hoisted by the end of this one. We're going to bring you all that action on BC Sports TV. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back after this.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Second period action coming right up in a couple of moments as the two teams make their way back onto the floor. This game is brought to you by Koba HVAC. Winter or summer, your comfort starts with Koba HVAC. With installs, maintenance, and repairs, Koba keeps Calgarians cozy, cool, and comfortable all year long. Trust the experts in commercial heating, ventilation, and cooling. Koba HVAC, we bang harder. Both teams back towards their benches. And the face-off circle, both goaltenders in their respective creases. It's Casey Lahash and his team who will be going from left to right in the broadcast, and Ben Tebow and his Adanacs who will be going right to left. Cody, we're drawn even 2-2 through 20. How did we get here?
Yeah, the first goal was wild. I don't really know how to explain it other than side here just kicked it into his own goal. It's a weird one. Hunters got goals that period as well from Albany, and then Rivera and the Adanacs got their latest from Malcolm Richardson.
Adanacs, just like the first period, win the opening draw. Adam Dane to Lincoln Twomley. He gets high. His shot hit a shaft in front. It goes off the corner boards. A lucky bounce gets it back over to Murray. Scores! 28 seconds into the second period. Darian Murray again.
Well, he scored 26 seconds into period one, technically. This is a lot prettier, though. That is just a low-to-low worm burner. Gets its way through Casey Lahash. It's the start the Adanacs need here. As this one, you see Lahash's unconventional stance, kind of. He likes to drop that left knee. It's almost on an angle, and that's why it gets between him and the post.
Adanacs, once again, for the third time in this game, take the lead. It's never been more than one, and the Hunters typically respond back sooner than later. Pass across the crease was blocked. Ends up deep in the corner. You never want to say a position or a possession is dead, especially in a game like this, regardless of where the shot clock is. Hunters take it back. Here's Sideer from his defensive zone. Owen Rice. Fans in attendance here are upset about something, some oohing and aahing to the right of the booth. Owen Rice, shot, goes off the shoulder of Tebow. Shot clock hasn't been reset yet, but the officials did call for it. Now it is. And now Lalonde and Dylan Martin going at each other. Martin went down, and the shot the other way is denied by Lahash. Martin is still up to play, and the Hunters didn't realize it in time.
Shot 16-12 in favor of the Hunters in that opening frame.
Lalonde was the one that was battling with Martin. He's right back onto the floor and goes right back to that same matchup. Dybo fakes the shot. Now he'll fire, and Tebow doesn't want to move. He knew it was stuck in him somewhere. Enough to make the save and deny Cayman Dybo. Careful around the bench as Richardson takes a bit of space. Down to Murray. One more and he'll have his hat trick goal. Has to wait a little longer because Lahash makes another save. Marcus Dybo. Feeds to the outside. To Albany. Awi Francis. He'll tuck and leave for Sugo-Reich. Now Rivera. Couldn't connect with Albany. Rivera had one of the two goals for the Hunter in the first period. Robinson off a stick and wide. That took a weird bounce, but it will be Hunter's ball.
I don't know if that was Deer or Chief Moon who got their stick in there, but someone took away a grade A chance.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was Zane Chief Moon. He is one of the biggest guys in this entire tournament and quite the reach on him. Gorman, another one of those bigger candidates. Now Martin robbed by Tebow. almost back in, and actually at the last second, the officials will call Coquitlam on it. What a save, though, by Ben Tebow.
Massive. He's played on big stages before, suited up in the World Box Lacrosse Championships last year, which you saw in Utica.
Makes another save. I believe he actually got China their first ever win at those World Championships, if I'm not mistaken. Lalonde going up and down the half wall. Goes all the way to the center line. Waiting was Kai Hartley. Played a mix of Junior A and Junior B ball this season. And then Murray is going to be chalked for interference, and Bryce Stout is in some discomfort. He is back to his feet. Hopefully that's just a Charlie horse or an easy bruise for him to shake off, because he is a key part of this defensive core for the Hunters. Albany sized up on the near side by Hall, who's knocked off his path. Feed down low. Gorman across the crease, and another big save by Tebow. Stayed with them the whole way. This is the longest all tournament that the Hunters have trailed in a game. Dane stops up, he tucks to the middle, tripped up, he'll shoot while on the ground, and it goes wide, and we're gonna see our first power play of the game. It will go to the Adanacs. Wolf Automotive Group, formerly GSL Chev City, is a proud sponsor of the 2025 Founders Cup. Visit our brand new dealership right off Stony Trail and Old Banff Coach Road.
Lincoln Twomley leads the Adanacs 3 power play goals throughout the Founders. Richardson has 2. Olsen has 2 as well.
Special teams have come in clutch for Coquitlam throughout this tournament. Couple of shorthanded goals as well, Twomley and Richardson.
Number 66 side here, 2 minutes for tripping, time of the penalty 15.
Murray skips over to Dane. Loves that low to high pass. Instead goes back up to Twomley. Murray denied by Lahash. Fresh 30 for the Adanacs power play. Hartley runs point. It's usually he or Callum Olsen who are in that spot. Olsen not in the lineup here in the championship game, however. Owen Rice in a shorthanded effort wanted a slashing call, and the officials disagree. Francis loves to shoot from pretty well anywhere on the floor. Does not matter how far away he is from the goal. Banks stops up to get the power play on. They still got 55 seconds to work with. The Hunters faithful in attendance. Love that backtracking effort. Now it's going to be Richardson at the point. He and Murray will switch spots. Hartley is down in the crease. Pass just handcuffed him, shoots from a tough angle, scores! Adam Dane, first of the Founders Cup. Never too late to find the back of the net, and Adam Dane gives the Adanacs a 2-goal lead.
Well, after 8 assists in the Founders Cup, sometimes the bounces go your way. For the Adanacs, it's been all afternoon. An unconventional power play set up in 34 in gold flicks the red light on.
I truly do not know if that was supposed to be a shot from Hartley or a pass. If that was a pass, to throw a bouncer for a player hoping for a one-timer is an outrageous and unbelievable move. I can't think of anybody else that pulls off a pass like that in that scenario, if that was the intention. I'm sure that Kai Hartley's going to say that was
I was
his
going to
thought.
say, he'll tell you a different story than the next person.
Goal scored on the power play by number 34, Adam
Dane finally gets rid of that goose egg in the goal column as Hartley is knocked off his path. Charlie Robinson gives him, or it might be Charlie Quinn actually back there, as the ball is along the near wall, and bodies all on top of it. They're going to say Adanacs possession. So Archibald gets up and is going to share some words with Dylan Martin.
I've been surprised with the lack of physicality Kahnawake has on the floor so far. Both sides. Offensively, usually they're setting hard picks. Defensively, they have not been able to get to these Adanacs forwards.
Dane, Maddie that is. Murray is back on. Maddie wanted the return feed. Now he gets it. Quickly back across. Xander Freeman. Forced on the run. Here's Dane, a little room to shoot and just missed that far side post. And then the Hunters have a man up the play, but the ball went into the Adanacs bench. Accidentally on purpose, leaving it on the bench a little bit longer. Takes away what could have been a breakaway chance for the Hunters.
They rarely call delay a game on a coach.
Little game within the game. Sago Rice. Pass got through to Rivera. Heavy cradle to maintain the handle, and he'll shoot. It's off the stick of Tebow. Rebound in front. That's been a few shots where Tebow has let a rebound go outside of his crease, and if the Hunters are able to send someone like Daibo into that tight area, that could be something for the Hunters to take advantage of. That pass was picked off, a little too telegraphed, and if you're going to put it into an area of Chief Moon, he is oftentimes going to take it away.
I want to see forwards like Rivera, Gorman, and Owen Rice get a little bit more selfish here. You got to start getting your shots up.
We'll go behind the net to Martin. Adanacs defenders make sure not to turn all the way around, and Tebow makes another shoulder save.
I think that Owen Rice shot caught most of the crossbar, too.
Francis on the reset. Far side to Rice, nice fake, and didn't know where the ball went. It's taken away as Hartley was out for a D shift, and now he's behind enemy lines on his own. Runs into a few bodies and gives it up.
Taha Albany got back there on defense. Him and Cy Deer did the bulk of work to cause that turnover.
Swarming. Kai Hartley. Owen Rice. Francis is back on, as is Rivera working with Daibo. Get used to that combo. Rivera! Second in the game, back within one.
You can shoot the ball, shoot the ball. Winter Rivera has 11 in the Founders Cup. Very similar to his last one. It's an overhand shot. It's far side, top shelf. And for Ben Tebow, an undersized goaltender, you cannot over-challenge, you cannot under-challenge. You have to be in a perfect spot. He's very close, but close doesn't count if you're a goalie.
Right when you ask for guys to be a little more selfish, Winter Rivera says, hold my beer. Top corner and a beauty. Adanacs still in front, but Hunter's starting to feel it, and the crowd is leaning in their favor. Daibo is robbed. Rebound in front. Martin couldn't pull the trigger. There's a delayed call coming up to the Adanacs as they collect. And it's going to be Charlie Quinn taking a seat for 2 minutes or less. Northern Mat and Bridge is Canada's leading provider of safe temporary access. With the nation's largest fleet of mats and portable bridges, NMB keeps crews, equipment, and the environment protected on any terrain and any season, coast to coast.
Well, the Hunters have 4 players with multiple power play goals. Sago Rice, Sawi Francis, Keeman Daibo, Winter Rivera. No one with 3 yet in the tournament.
Might that change here. Francis fires wide, and it goes out of play off of a Coquitlam stick, they're going to say. Right call. I don't think Awi Francis misses by that much from there otherwise. So I go Rice. Rivera back to Francis, but the pass was at his feet. Rivera, backhander. Owen Rice looking to the same corner that Rivera scored on just a minute ago, but this time Tebow gets that shoulder up high. Here comes DeWitt. Keenan DeWitt can log all sorts of minutes for this Adanacs team, and then Adam Dane couldn't pick it up. Now he's going to have to stay and play in this penalty-killing effort. No, he decides to head off at the last second. Got to be quick to get back into that penalty-killing formation. Charlie Robinson gets back there just in time. Awi Francis off the shoulder of Tebow. Look at that step across, over and out from that goal line. It remains 4-3 for Coquitlam. Robinson, far side, and another save by Lahash, his first in a while. Remains equal to the task. Lucas, 23 seconds left to kill. This has been an area that has plagued the Adanacs a little bit throughout this tournament, able to get through most of the penalty kill, but in the last couple seconds, give one up. They would love to change that rhetoric as Richardson stopped by Lahash, and just 4 seconds left until Charlie Quinn can step back out onto the turf. It looks like they'll start things off on the right foot.
Only Lahash's 4th save of the period, and we're 11 and a half minutes in.
Adanacs up by 1. Suggo Rice. Quinn immediately pressures him in the corner. Ball is loose. It's leaking through to the middle. Nobody can pick it up except, no, not even Chase Budnick. Took a weird bounce. It goes over top of the goal. And we're going to get a media timeout here over that 10-minute mark. Freehold Royalty is a uniquely positioned leading North American energy royalty company. And Trican, Canada's largest well service company, delivering hydraulic fracturing, cementing, coiled tubing, and more across Western Canada's oil and gas industry. With unmatched expertise and a commitment to safety, efficiency, and the environment, Trican keeps energy flowing.
So you're already seeing special teams play a big part in this one. The Adanacs have won power play. They've got one power play goal. Kahnawake 0 for 1. It's a championship game. The Founders Cup is on the line. You know the refs don't want to have any impact on the final score, so they're more often than not going to put away the whistles. And I think that when these chances are so few and far between, you have to make them count. And that power play for Kahnawake, not even close to their expectations with the offensive personnel they have.
It's always interesting to me to take a look and see, in big games like this, you're looking for those big-time players who are going to be the guys that step up and take control. From the Adanac side, Darian Murray has contributed to all 4 of Coquitlam's goals, 2 goals and 2 helpers. And on the other side, Winter Rivera has 2 of the 3 for Kahnawake. So there's an ongoing discussion right now at the Hunters bench between the officials and Brandon Francis. It's like a calm discussion. No need to get too excited just yet. And that message is going to be relayed over to head coach of the Adanacs, Tyson Abbott. And Tyson came up to the booth a couple of days ago and let me know. He wanted to remind me. So Cayman Daibo, we've already talked about him, a former Adanac. Actually, a couple of times he suited up for the Purple and Gold, including most recently last year where he was part of their Minto Cup winning team. Actually billeted at Tyson Abbott's parents' house, from what I understand. So pretty deep connection there between Cayman Daibo and the Adanacs organization. Of course, Tyson Abbott, son of the Coquitlam Adanacs president, James Abbott. I'm sure watching this game as we go along here. We're back underway. It's 4-3 for those Adanacs. Sideer gets the matchup at that far side on Freeman, who then feeds it over to the righties. Twomley with that heavy step. He goes over top of Lahash, and did that go off the inside of the post? It was a close call. Twomley still looking for his first of the game.
Well, he got Lahash moving, and that just opens up little holes around there. And Twomley's so skilled, he's able to change on a dime and find it. Wouldn't it be surprised if the next offensive possession goes right back to 32 and gold?
Yeah, shoot till you're hot and then shoot till you miss. Martin couldn't handle the pass in front. Adanacs take it away. There's that speedy transition that they love. Archibald is robbed by Lahash. Rebound in front, and he'll reach out of his crease and collect. Now there's a wrestling match down in the middle of the floor. Everybody back to their feet, back to their benches. Hunters back to the offense. Rice wide. Over to Albany, off the rebound. He'll skip all the way across to Rivera. A heavy one, stopped by Tebow. It almost went through his legs. Gorman. Rice, Rivera. Nice move to the crease and stopped by Tebow. Took some contact, but makes the save when it matters.
We did see Mountain View score a couple 5-hole on Tebow. I know that there's not a lot to look at in small goaltenders. Not the first thing you want to shoot for, but sometimes there's been a way.
Adam Dane. He tries the 5-hole, and if there's anything we've learned from the Tier 2 championship game earlier today, if you run into a hot goaltender that's seeing everything, sometimes you got to catch him by surprise, and sometimes those cheeky little 5-hole shots from weird angles are what you'd like to go with. Anything to try to get that extra edge, but Ben Tebow stays hot. Awi Francis puts it off of the logo. Owen Rice. Daibo is open for a minute. Rice puts it into the top corner. Tie game, second period.
There was two guys I really wanted to see shoot the ball a little bit more. You can't wait. You have to put it in motion. Owen Rice is one of those guys. He is so creative. He evades the defender. And boy, if you're Tebow, you have zero clue what the next move is going to be. He gets you to wait a second, thinking maybe he'll pass it back door, and instead he pops it under the bar.
And that was such a smart move by Cayman Daibo without the ball. He draws Ben McElhargy, the Coquitlam captain, away from the middle of the floor, so there's no low defender to come over and slide to Rice. Charlie Quinn got a heavy hit into the boards in front of the Coquitlam bench, shaken up. Across the floor, Lahash makes the save. The Adanacs get a reset. Twomley has come back on, Murray as well. Let's see if Twomley goes to the goal. He'll shoot off a stick and wide. Ends up in the Adanacs bench.
These past couple of shifts, the Hunters defense has turned up the physicality. This is making it a little bit more uncomfortable for the Adanacs.
Owen Rice, the latest goal scorer, getting a rough ride right now from Lalonde and Banks. Gorman fakes the shot, goes to Rivera, who does take it, and Tebow again under his arm squeezes that thing against his body. Banks gets it back. Hall took a hit from behind and shares a glance over at the near side official. Now Banks to Dane. Wanted the one-timer from Freeman, who just overran it. And look out, the gate open in front of the Adanacs bench as the Hunters go through. Now they got numbers. It's a 2-on-1, but an unorthodox one as the Hunters had two righties going up on the same side, and then a chance in front that's denied by an active stick.
So Martin would have had a chance there, except he stopped moving his feet. He caught the ball and he slows down. If he keeps running, he's got that separation.
Twomley back to his proper hand, a bouncer, and there's the adjustment being made by the Hunters. When you see Lincoln Twomley galloping through, you got to get two defenders on him. 4 minutes to play in this 4-4 game in the second period. Rice to Daibo. He'll shoot, and the save is made by Tebow. Chase Budnick avoids the swing of the stick from Deere, gets off, he'll be replaced by Murray. Dane on the double screen, reverses back to Lucas, to the middle, shoots, Lahash, I don't think he saw it, but it doesn't matter, he saved it regardless. You just feel like with this goaltending matchup, you're going to either need a perfect shot or a release through a screen, something to take away the vision. One-timer is stopped by Thibault. Rivera on his own rebound, wide. Might have caught a piece of the post. Now Gorman in the corner. Hunters really cranking up the heat now. Cross floor to Rivera. Back up top, Rice scores! Hunters take their first lead of the game!
Well, if some of their forwards are cold, it means it's an opportunity for others to step up. And Owen Rice with back-to-back goals has flipped the script. This team was down by 2. They now lead by 1 with 2:46 left to play. And look at how he gets those hands open. Still uses that D-man as a screen. I think Thibault might be thinking, is he going to try pull this around and walk in? By the time Thibault gets out, the ball's behind him.
And by the time that the defender Quinn gets out, the shot is already being thrown past his head. Gorman to Thibault. He wants to go. He'll shoot, and Thibault answers back with a good save there.
Cayman Thibault still doesn't have a single point in this game. He has been shut down completely by the Adanacs.
Over to Freeman. Off the bench. Hartley. How do the Adanacs respond after trailing for the first time here? Hartley, a bouncer. Stopped by Lahash. Now Twomley's going to forecheck a little bit. Remember, Coquitlam was down 4-2 through 20 minutes against Queen City. Now this is a much different team than the Kings, but the Adanacs have played in a lot of close games throughout their Founders Cup journey. 12-8, they beat St. John. 5-4, they took down Calgary. 8-6 over Queen City, and 8-7 in the semifinal against the Mavericks. Shot with 91 seconds to play. Approaching the final minutes. All of that to say the Adanacs are comfortable in close games. Adam Dane has a goal in this game. Dishes underneath Hartley. Tried to feed Dane. It goes through the middle, and the Hunters take it back, and they want to push the pace here. Marcus Thibault slows it down now into the final minute of second period action. On comes Albany. Rice down low, Rivera. Martin has come on. Rivera to Rice. Wants his hat trick goal. His pass was out of the reach of Albany. Keeps after it though, and from a sharp angle, it's a shot. And then a behind the back by Gorman. Adanacs able to collect. 31 seconds left. And you can see Tyson Abbott on the bench looking for a signal. Do they want a timeout? Yes, they do. The clock goes down to 21. There is about a 3-second, maybe 3.5 between the shot clock and the game clock. So they probably don't want to pull Thibault here, but they can use a lot of this clock.
You don't want to, but you feel like rolling the dice, because how often do you find yourself in a Founders Cup final? It's not more than once a year, and that's at best. This Adanacs team knows as well as anyone. They've got 3 medals over the last 5 Founders Cups. None of them have been gold in color. And that's why I say, yes, probably the safe decision to put Thibault back. But if you're down by 1 or 2 late in the third, are you going to regret this opportunity if 5-on-5 doesn't work in your favor?
I think they're going to keep... Oh, they are going to put him onto the bench. You're right. I thought he was going to go back towards the goal, so they're confident in their ability to hang on to possession until that right moment. Again, 23.7 seconds on the clock.
They upped the shot clock to 20, though.
Well, I think they did add a little bit of time overall to the game and shot clock, because there was, it did run for a little bit, not much, but I mean, a heads-up play by the Adanacs to make mention of that, get themselves every bit of time possible. We'll see how this shapes up. Twomley is parked in the middle, and he's getting a couple of cross checks on his front and back. 8 seconds to go. Dane tucks through. Pass across was there for Richardson. Couldn't get it. And now there's 2.2 seconds left. The Adanacs were slow to change. Finally, they get back, and wisely too, because Adam Banks catches the shot towards the empty goal.
I think the Hunters thought that the period was over. They just stopped playing. They had 3 seconds, and side Deer, if not for Banks, that's going in the empty net. There's a very good chance that that goes in.
And if Deer picks that up quicker, it's probably into the empty net because Banks isn't there. It was a super slow change by the Adanacs.
That last set, though, I don't mind the play. They do kind of get to where they're going, and I think the intention is to find a backdoor feed and, have a tap, and I believe that was Richardson who wanted it. I don't know. If I'm seeing the performance that 91's having right now, I am feeding Darian Murray with 2 spoons. I am setting everything around him and continuing to let the hot stick stay hot. That's just how I see it on a 6-on-5 play. But for Kahnawake, they are getting a step-up performance from Owen Rice. He's got the last 2, and they're up by 1.
Don't disagree with you. Darian Murray contributed on all 4 of the Adanacs goals to this point. 40 minutes in the books. The Kahnawake Hunters are 20 minutes away from their first ever Founders Cup at their first ever Founders Cup. The Adanacs in a bit of an uncomfortable position, but a position that they're all right playing in. We'll see how the third period shapes up, and who knows, maybe we get some free lacrosse to follow. Time will tell. You're watching the 2025 Founders Cup Championship game on BC Sports TV.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We design, build, deploy, and operate our system. We design a system that is very easy to operate. We have industry-leading operation uptime and efficiency. Our product are UL certified. Quality is what we do. Every piece will have their own power distribution system, their own immersion tank, network system, pump, fans. Our clients that we have all have something in common, and they're looking for a high quality product that they could deploy as a modular system that is scalable. At IntelliFlex, our motto is start to finish.
Perfect Surfaces, Canada's leader in rubber flooring and specialty surfaces. From gyms to arenas, our premium rubber flooring is built to take a beating and keep going. Extremely durable, impact resistant, and engineered for high-performance spaces. Our floors are also non-slip, anti-fatigue, and easy to clean, designed to keep athletes safe and comfortable every step of the way. And we don't stop at sports. Transform your garage from plain to showroom ready with SnapGrid tiles. DIY friendly and easy to install, our garage floors handle cars, tools, and everyday life with ease. Step outside. Our interlocking deck and patio tiles bring new life to worn surfaces. Comfortable underfoot, slip resistant, and weather ready. Need more? We offer sport court tiles, playground surfaces, and specialty flooring solutions for every space. Whatever your project, we've got a floor for it.
Perfect Surfaces. You stand on it, we stand by it.
So in 2019, we went and visited a crypto mining site. We looked around. I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. My name is Chuck Lecuyer, founder of CS Corporation, home of the IntelliFlex line of product. At IntelliFlex, we're innovators. We
40 minutes in the books, 20 minutes left in regulation. Hey, Georgie, 20 miles, 20 smiles. Maybe. Man, that feels good to say. Cameraman extraordinaire George Parra parked somewhere to our left. It's Tino Farah, Cody Jansen, and the folks here at BC Sports TV. And hey, shout out to the folks watching from the Knights of Columbus and their local color commentator, Brandon Bordeaux. I don't know what this means, Cody, but the chicken is marinating.
Yeah, let's just hope that that's something family friendly for all of our viewers. No, actually, the Knights of Columbus crew's been awesome. I've been getting DMs from some Hunters fans watching out there. That's awesome. It's great they can have the watch parties because of BC Sports TV, putting the games on YouTube, making them accessible, and we are in for one heck of a third period.
Darian Murray and Adam Dane are your Adanacs goal scorers in that second period. Winter Rivera and, oh yeah, don't forget about Owen Rice tickling Twine in that middle frame to put the Hunters in front. There is one period left in regulation, and right away the Adanacs take a penalty. Lahash is onto the bench for the extra attacker. Rice skips far side. Gorman, a heavy one off the corner boards and out of play. Hey, somebody in attendance, go grab that thing and get yourself a candy bag. Why not? It's the last day. Spark Psychology is proud to support the Founders Cup as part of their mission to foster mental health, resilience, and personal growth for young people. Thank you to all of our sponsors here on the broadcast, helping to bring it for free on BC Sports TV. So the Hunters were unsuccessful on their first power play. They'll get another. Gotta wonder if Rice is gonna be the hot stick here. He's got two. Both in that second period. Here he is, backdoor, one-timer, scores! It took him 15 seconds, and now they're up by 2.
They only had one shot on goal on their first power play. All they need on this one is one shot on goal. Suggo Rice on the backdoor taps it home like he's 3 feet from the cage, and boy, oh boy, he makes that look easy because Owen Rice put it on the red tees for him.
Tebow got close, but not close enough. 6-4, the Hunters now lead. Adanacs have got to push here. I will say it again, they trailed 4-2 against Queen City. They are comfortable in these close games. And they're going to need to show why here. They really need to bear down because this Hunter squad doesn't give up a lot. A twister from Daibo off the outside of the pad of Tebow.
Cayman Daibo just got his first point of the game.
Unbelievable. Adanacs have done a great job to more or less neutralize him. Murray had 2 goals in the first period. His shot is caught, and now it's a breakaway chance the other way for the Hunters. Robbed by Tebow.
Darius Jones, a grade A opportunity for his first of the Founders.
Adanacs go back to work. Dane. Both Adam and Maddie on the floor, and an interference by Lucas is going to give possession back to the Hunters. Can't get frustrated now if you're Coquitlam. Rivera thinking about that one-on-one drive, decides against it. Charlie Robinson was the defender. Daibo. He and Rivera go to work again. Daibo flip backwards, and now Robinson wants to run onto it. A good slash by Albany takes it away, but the shot clock's going to wind down.
Extra effort right there. Taha Albany, been impressed with them all week long. Not the biggest competitor, but boy, he does not lose a lot of one-on-one battles, and that time it was a 1v2, and he comes out with the loose ball.
Hartley over to Dane as there's an injured Hunter on the floor. Hartley is wide open as a result. He'll spin, shovels one to the back door, and Lucas couldn't corral it And now that'll give us a whistle as there is the injured Hunter still down in Marcus Dybo. Trainer comes out, and this does not look good. He is in quite some discomfort. There is no weight being put on that right leg. He's able to walk a little bit on it, but with a lot of help. So for now, Marcus Dybo is being removed from this game, and we'll see what his status is in the coming minutes. He's going to go off the bench and have a discussion, and that is a big loss out the D gate for the Hunters.
Bit of an awkward play as well. It wasn't a real pick that was set on him, but his legs kind of got twisted with the forward, and it just turned funny on him.
Officials put everybody back to the face-off circle, and the Adanacs had a chance to pick it up but couldn't. DeWitt and Budnick right there. Hopefully that's not a loose ball available that comes back to bite them. At least that's what they're thinking right now. Francis puts it down to Suggo Rice, who gets up high, and Budnick does a good job on him. Francis, he has some room. He'll take that space and shoot around a screen. It's in! Owie Francis gets another for the Hunters. They're up by 3.
First of the game, 8th of the tournament. Owie Francis hit a couple of points already this afternoon. This one goes high 5-hole. We saw Mountain View put a couple there on Tebow in the semis. And Owie Francis puts everything behind this one.
Adanacs, I mean, they're not going to take one, but I wonder if they would benefit from a timeout right now. It's still super early, right? There is 16:40 remaining in this third period. But you have to try to find a way to get control of this game once again.
5 straight goals for Kahnawake.
Here's Richardson. Adam Dane to brother Matties. They'll team up on a screen. Malcolm Richardson stopped by Lahash. Talk about calming presence. How big has Casey Lahash been for this team?
He's a vocal leader too. He really commands that crease, and his defense understands the assignment.
Rice from Dybo. Martin. Pass back to Dybo was deflected. Martin takes it back and then leaves it behind. A chance now for the Adanacs to run, but Dybo quickly back into the defensive zone. Slows down Miles Archibald, who takes a peek back and feeds Hartley. This whole defensive core of the Hunters working as one cohesive unit here. One moves, they all move. Freeman, backdoor, Twomley wide. And we talk about how well the Adanacs have done to almost neutralize, at the very least limit that of Dybo. Well, how about the Hunters defense on Lincoln Twomley?
Adanacs have taken about 4 shots towards the goal this period. Only one has made its way to Lahash.
Rivera scored from there in the first period. Shot from distance. It's handled well into the stick of Tebow. DeWitt. Does he want to go? Yes, he does, and it's stopped by Lahash. Tried to reach around, and Lahash able to get his shoulder out.
I love that move, though, and the decision. If you're a leader on this Adanacs team, you need to step up, and DeWitt was inches away from putting that one around Lahash.
Especially DeWitt, typically playing as a defender, so he just naturally has a bit of a longer stick, and to use that to try to reach around Lahash is a smart call. Gorman, and it got underneath of Tebow, but flicks it back in front of his crease. A close call at this end, but it remains 7-4.
Shots are 45-26 in favor of Kahnawake.
Now Hartley downhill. Runs into Deere. Skips over to Richardson. Lucas had to vacate back to his proper side. Freeman through to the middle. Hartley and his stick was tied up. It stays in play as Hartley and Deere go at each other, and Hartley's lucky to not take a penalty there. Deere is going to be all right, but took a couple of whacks into his thighs. Here's Owen Rice. He and Daibo will come out for the only two righties. Gorman behind the goal. Back to the outside to Gorman. Swims around Robinson, and down low, Thibault makes the save from his knees. Here's Darian Murray. What a start to this game he had. Nice move by Dane to the goal, robbed by Lahash. That is what Matty Dane brings to a lineup. How quickly he made that move and got to the goal, but Lahash standing the test of time.
Only Mountain View has been able to put up 9 goals on this Hunters team. Everyone else is under that mark.
Francis to Cayman Daibo in front. Martin was there. Ended up being a shot on goal, and the Adanacs take an interference call. Martin a bouncer to Daibo. 12:20 left. Francis working with Albany. Martin knocked his man down. It was Archibald, and that's going to be an interference call.
Also, with that last assist of Winter Rivera, he now has 23 points in the tournament. He's taken over top spot solely, passing Ryan McDonald, who had 22 points for the Queen City Kings this week.
Twomley. Shot didn't get through. Battles for the loose ball. Finds it, but he's pinned. Throws it towards Dane, picking it up off the bounce. One-time shot attempted by Richardson. Couldn't get all of it. Cody, I just got a message here that informs us that DeWitt actually led the BC League as a forward. Defense is a little bit new to him here. And, I mean, that explains the offensive upside for him, but unbelievably impressive how he stood up as a defender. The versatility of these two teams playing for a championship. Nice move by Rice. Skips through to Dorman. Return pass was over top of the head of Rice. Gets it back on the Roughnecks logo. Nice hand by Francis, who threw one just a second too late. Adanacs are going to take it back towards the O-zone.
11:14 left to go in the third, down by 3. If there's anyone in the tournament who can do it, it's the A's.
It just takes one. Murray. Pass was knocked down. A good defensive stick by Jensen White. "11 minutes left in regulation. If there's ever a time to leave it all on the floor, it is now. Lucas is going to stay for a defensive shift, doing some work on Martin, who gets away. Daibo to Gorman. Late man on is Rice. Lucas gets onto the bench as the shot goes towards Thibault. Up the floor, Chase Budnick. Richardson decides against the pass to Twomley. Good call because Deere is back onto the floor. Richardson through the middle, back over to Matty Dane, who is on his wrong side. Backhander goes off a body. Dane spins off a check. He's pinned though in the corner. And look out here. Adam Dane came up to stand up for his brother. Don't want to take a penalty here.
Zane Chief Moon getting in there also to have a few words.
Love the fearlessness of Matty Dane. No moment too big. Sugo Rice. Awi Francis. Rivera, one touch in front. Tebow, did he get a piece of that? What a save in tight on Martin. Gone down to the single digits. 9:25 left to play in regulation. It's the Hunters 7 and the Adanacs 4. Francis denied by Tebow, and he'll sprawl on top of the loose ball.
Owen Rice has 2 in the game now, 3 back of Lachlan Clark for the tournament lead. Somehow Lachlan Clark wasn't a first-team All-Star.
Yeah, we're not the ones making those decisions.
Yeah, let's just clarify that.
Let's make that as clear as possible. Matty Dane sails it towards the goal, and it's a glove stop.
I don't mind that. If you're Coquitlam, you cannot just waste away a 30 clock. You got to get balls on net. And if you're going to beat LaHash right now, it seems like you're going to have to hit those corners from the outside because getting in tight, he's automatic.
But we have to, they need to start crashing the middle. Should clarify that. I am not a Coquitlam guy.
That's the BC boy right coming out of you.
Maple Ridge, born and raised.
Can't confirm. Tino just showed me his ID.
Media timeout here. Traveling, sending money overseas. CalForex has you covered with competitive exchange rates and fast, reliable service. CalForex helps you make your money go further. Check them out online, calforex.com.
We talked about how good the defenses in this game are, but the shot difference is 19. That is a drastic amount. Kahnawake has 48 shots on goal. The Adanacs only with 29. I really think the Adanacs positionally do a great job, but it's those one-on-one matchups, and you really see Brandon Francis and company dial it down. Darian Murray has a hot start. What do? They stick big number 8, Zane Chief Moon, on him, and they have absolutely slowed him down over the last 30 minutes. It is a drastic change, and you're seeing the big guns, defender-wise, step up for Kahnawake in this third and late in the second.
And the ability to adjust on the fly as well. It's very clear that the game plan was do not let 32 shoot in purple and gold. And then on the fly, you see Murray get hot, so now the adjustment is made. Okay, maybe we don't necessarily ease off of Twomley, but we provide a little bit more respect over to 91, and all of a sudden, he's been silenced as of late. It's a chess match here between these two bench staffs.
Twomley had 7 in the round robin, 0 right now in this championship game.
Adanacs, much like the Hunters needed earlier, Coquitlam needs someone to be a little selfish here and take control of the game. It was Murray early. Can he do some more? Adam Dane over to Richardson, down low. Here's Murray from the corner, gets topside, shoots around a screen. Bouncer to the top corner, doesn't work. Now Adam Dane, another bouncer, and that missed as well.
Look at Murray, circle up top, and it's Chief Moon on his hands the entire way. He's not missing the net because he's a bad shooter. He's missing the net because the defense of Kahnawake is playing him great.
No shot is a clean one. And even if there's a lane full of bodies in front, Gorman to Francis, stopped by Tebow, and everybody boxes out the forward group of the Hunters. And you're going to need to with someone like Cayman Daibo right there on the crease. If there is somebody that I am putting into an area to grab a loose ball, it is Cayman Daibo.
6-on-5, desperation mode now. Tebow to the bench.
7 minutes to go. The Adanacs need 3 to tie. Twomley whistles it wide of the goal. Murray quickly back towards the bench to get Tebow back on. And it's going to be Hunter's ball from their own side of center.
So they go 6-on-5. They actually get a shooter open who has his hands free. It's just off the mark.
Here's Rivera. Sugo Rice. Underhand feed back to the near side. Rivera steps into one, and it's off a body in front and wide. That's a big block for the Adanacs. DeWitt turns on the Jets, gets up top, and again pulls it wide. I would love to see the numbers in terms of shot attempts overall versus what has been a registered shot.
I would assume 15 plus shot attempts this period. Only 5 have had to been stopped by Lahesh.
The Hunters turned up the heat in the second period. The Adanacs need to match that and some. 6 minutes left in regulation. Gorman, what a move. He'll shoot, and a stick save is made. No interference call. The ball stays down in the middle. A spinning shot, also wide, and bodies galore go down to the turf. Everybody back to their feet as Albany looks a little bit shaken up, but he's going to stay in this play. And why not take the ball as well? Here's Gorman. Tucks through. One hand on his stick. Rivera was open down low. Now Daibo is up high. He'll tuck. He'll shoot. And Tebow makes the save.
Another reset. This is just keeping the Adanacs offense off the floor. And this is an Adanacs group that hasn't scored in 30 minutes now.
The Hunters know exactly what they are doing. Daibo downhill, scores! Cayman Daibo, the former Adanac. Maybe that's the dagger.
Cayman Daibo wants gold and not the form of a sweater this year. He's at the Founders Cup for one reason and one reason only. Boy, what a time for your first of the championship game.
Outside, inside, back of the goal. What a finish from Cayman Daibo. We've been talking about him all week long. Some of the best hands this tournament has to offer in what he's able to create. It took him a little while to find his scoring touch, but he was still putting up points in terms of assists in every single game. That combination of Daibo and Winter Rivera has been one of the best.
Dontu Van Domlin, a huge face-off win as well.
Cayman Daibo, as the games got more and more important, just elevated his game.
It's not always the big names either. The guys from Kahnawake are getting it done. It's your Bryce Stouts, Tylen Daibo, Marcus Daibo, Jensen White. It's those depth players like Creighton Curry, Darius Jones that are the ones battling and have held Coquitlam to 4 goals.
Twomley looks down low, tried to force it a little bit, and Sideer intercepts it. Look out now, don't think the Hunters defender in Jensen White knew that there was still an Adanac behind him, and now the Hunters having a little bit of trouble exiting their zone, but finally they do. Rice to the net, and he fires it wide. Albany reaches, avoids a check, swims through another, and finally he loses possession. Lalonde able to collect. Tebow back to the Adanacs bench. If they were in desperation time before, well, now it's time for the kitchen sink. 3:38 left in regulation. Twomley feeds down low. Murray back to the bench to get Tebow on. Pass in front, it missed everybody. Freeman tries to pressure Deer, but it leaks through the middle, and it's collected eventually by Rivera.
Kahnawake 3 minutes and 15 seconds away from their first ever Founders Cup victory.
1 for 1 in a Founders Cup doesn't sound too bad. Here's Rivera wide. Sharp angle. Also wide. Rivera shows off his offensive ability by switching hands. Don't forget, goes to the Ohio State, does Winter Rivera. Empty net again for Coquitlam. Under 3 to play in regulation. Murray, they cannot take their time here. Twomley understands that, and he's knocked off as he takes the shot. And now there's another Hunter that's down and limping back towards the bench. It's Creighton Cree, and into the empty net. Icing on the cake. The Hunters go up by 5.
Owen Rice, third of the game, and instead of eating the clock, says, hey, we could use a little bit more insurance. We traveled all this way from out east. We might as well continue to put the rock in the net.
Just a master class for the Hunters. They were down almost immediately in this game with that goal credited to Darian Murray off a defender. No problem, they tie it up. Coquitlam gets another one back. Up 2-1, no problem. They tie it up. Coquitlam goes up 3-2. Same story, the Hunters tie it up. So Murray falls, fires it wide of the goal. This Hunters team understood the assignment from day one of the Founders Cup. And while, yes, they have trailed in this game, you can chalk this up as more or less a perfect performance in their most important game.
Coaching masterclass this week by Brandon Francis, Brett Bucktooth, Thunder Jacobs, and Gunaweo Dion. They have not been beat on the clipboard or the scoreboard.
Under 2 minutes away from history. The Hunters look to go 1-for-1 at the Founders Cup, their first ever journey in this tournament. And what a lineup they'd been able to put together. You can see the rest of their roster, the healthy scratches, and everybody else putting on their jerseys and sitting beside the bench. They know what's about to happen in 1 minute and 8 seconds. Just take care of the ball now. Final minute. Awe Francis finds some room, and
they had 6 on the floor.
6 on the floor. That explains it. McLean mixing it up with Francis, and Martin comes in to separate everybody. 9-4, the Hunters lead in the final minute. The trophy has been here all week. It's now inching closer to the turf. There's a penalty on the play here now. It's going to be roughing. The Adanacs will get a chance to get one back, but it's not going to matter. Down by 5, 44 seconds to go.
Bryce Stout wasn't going down without a bit of a fight here as well. The game's 60 minutes. You might as well play it all.
What a tournament from the Adanacs. But they'll fall just short. The 2 best teams here are the ones that get into the championship game. As Hartley steps into one that just misses, Murray gets it off the boards. Final 30 seconds of the Founders Cup. Lahasse gets another save. That may be his last of the Founders. And if it is, what a showing he has had. Richardson's going to pressure a little bit. It's sent all the way down. Tebow gets one last touch out of his crease. The 10-second count is on. History for the Hunters. The Founders Cup is going to go back to Kahnawake. Get those flags waving, everybody. Your 2025 Founders Cup champions. What a journey for this team. Took them all the way till late in the Ontario Junior B Finals, where they took down the reigning Founders Cup champions. They were down in that series and fought their way back. And there's just something about this team being able to turn it on when it mattered most. And a full circle moment in this game as well, trailing a few different times until they need to turn up that heat. And they cranked it up to 11, 9-4. They take down the first place team from the A division. And they're gonna host a trophy in just a few minutes.
Call it a successful hunt for the guys from Kahnawake. This whole tournament, start to finish, was dominated by them and them alone. They came in here, day one, Brandon Francis said, we need to make a statement. We're not just the Ontario champs. We believe we're national champions. That thought never wavered. They never, for a second in this game, believed they couldn't do it. Didn't matter if they got an unfortunate bounce 24 seconds in. Didn't matter if they found themselves 4-2. They were going to rip off 7 straight goals. They're going to hold the Adanacs scoreless for 34-plus minutes. And Casey Lahash, have yourself a tournament. The #1 netminder in the nation at the Junior B level.
It was 4-2 when Adam Dane scored on the power play just about 6 minutes into the second period before the Hunters went on that 7-goal run, started by Winter Rivera, and then those 2 straight from Owen Rice. Make it, 3 straight from Rice, because Owen Rice got those 2, and then Sago Rice scored early in the third period on the power play. And then Awi Francis came in Daibo with that beauty, and then the empty netter from Owen Rice to cap off his hat trick.
Gold for Kahnawake, as it should be. You see the big embrace by Casey Lahash and Owen Rice. Oh man, this is as good as it gets for those guys. I'm so happy for everyone watching back at the Knights of Columbus. The party is on out east.
Where would this team be without Casey Lahash? It just seemed at any point that an opposing team was starting to figure it out, try to find if there are any holes in this Kahnawake defensive group. Lahash was there every single time. 4 goals against in a championship game. All you can ask for is your best players to be at their best, and their most important player was absolutely at his best.
Casey Lahash holds the Adanacs to 4. Chase Mizek holds them to 5. Man, there's so much talent on that Coquitlam side as well. Like, this isn't the last we've heard of a lot of those guys. I think of the big game Darian Murray had. Malcolm Richardson was phenomenal in the Danes. Like, there is a lot of talent on that side that is going to make a huge impact in junior lacrosse. And whether they win a Founders or a Minto in the next few years, I'm pretty confident they'll be raising some hardware very soon.
If there is one thing that can be said about the Adanacs organization top to bottom, they are perennial contenders. You are absolutely right to say that this group is not done here. They will be back. Mark my words. They will be back. But the streak of British Columbia unsuccessful at the Founders Cup is going to continue for at least 1 more year.
Once again, congratulations to the 2025 Founders Cup champions, the Kahnawake Hunters. Also, let's have a big round of applause for the Founders Cup silver medalist, Coquitlam Adanacs, and thank them for being a part of this year's Founders Cup. With that, I am proud to introduce Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League Commissioner Ian Stewart, alongside August Electronics CEO Tanya Corenda, to present today's August Electronics Game MVP for each team as selected by their respective coaches. Each team is awarded a white hat and a belt buckle. From the Coquitlam Adanacs, number 77, Ben Mikulargi.
Ben Mikulargi, the game MVP for the Adanacs.
From the Kahnawake Hunters, number 20, Winter Rivera.
And Winter Rivera of the Hunters. Plenty of candidates, but Rivera, remember, had a couple of clutch chances in this game throughout this tournament. Very well deserved.
I think there's an interesting aspect, too, of if he doesn't hit those top corners and Ben Tebow gets a little bit more settled into this game, this very well could have been a one-goal game. And not that it's Ben Tebow's fault by any means, but Winter Rivera dragged his team into the fight, and he walked the walk.
Yeah, the request at one point from you, Cody, was you wanted somebody to be a little more selfish from the Hunters and take over.
And that's not a disrespect to any of the players either. I truly just believe they have that much talent on their team that they can be a little selfish at times. And you saw it because Owen Rice really stepped up. Winter Rivera stepped up. I still thought Gorman was great. Even had a couple big defensive shifts in the game. Their big guns did their job. Came and Daibo seals the deal.
From the Coquitlam Adanacs, second team All-Star, number 98, Charlie Robinson.
Charlie Robinson, the defender for the Adanacs, named to the second team All-Star. Selected by the coaching staff.
Not us, just a reminder.
Charlie Robinson really showed off his speed throughout this tournament. Had one of the Adanacs shorthanded goals.
Second team All-Star, number 32, Lincoln Twomley.
Lincoln Twomley, second team All-Star. I don't know how he doesn't make his way onto the first.
Not chosen by us. Twomley was so fun to watch, though. I honestly haven't seen a ton of him play, and this week has been an eye-opener. He is a special talent.
New Westminster Salmon Bellies fans, get used to Lincoln Twomley. And Ben Tebow. I didn't hear which, if that's not first team All-Star. Did they say second?
I'm pretty sure second. And if that's the case, it's because Casey Lahash is first team.
Yeah, fair. I guess it can only be one goalie.
It's not a 20 team.
Number 26, Malcolm Richardson.
And Malcolm Richardson also finds his way into that All-Star category. Another dynamic shooter in that Adanacs organization.
Champion Kahnawake Hunters. First team All-Star, number 12, Duntu Van Dommelen.
Van Dommelen, I mean, was unreal at the face-off dot. Won a big one late.
Consistent all week long.
Might have earned himself onto that All-Star squad with that face-off win.
First team All-Star, number 4, Owen Rice.
Owen Rice. He's already shed all his gear. Jersey and all. First team All-Star. Surprising nobody.
Yeah, that was a automatic. And I would assume number 20 joins him very soon.
Finally, first team All-Star, number 1, Casey Lahash.
Well, there's your first team All-Star goaltender, Casey Lahash. No point rolling up those sleeves. There's no chance you're winning that battle.
There's a tarp.
What a performance, Casey Lahash.
And finally, now we are proud to introduce the tournament MVP from the Kahnawake Hunters, number 20, Winter Rivera.
Well, that explains why he's not named to the All-Star team, because he's named the tournament's most valuable player, Winter Rivera. Again, surprising absolutely nobody.
Said it. Dragged his team back into the fight. When they were down in this game, Winter Rivera is who all 20 of them look to.
Introduce Randy Trovac, Commissioner of Lacrosse Canada, and Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League Commissioner Ian Stewart, who will be presenting the medals. I would like to invite the silver medalist, the Coquitlam Adanacs, to come forward and receive their medals. Please join us in celebrating their achievement with one more big round of applause. Once again, congratulations to the Coquitlam Adanacs on an outstanding season. Now, will the champion Kahnawake Hunters please come forward to receive their gold medals? And again, please join us in celebrating their achievement with a big round of applause.
A nice sign of respect by the Kahnawake Hunters to go down through the entire Adanacs team for a second time, including scratches, coaches, trainers, manager, and all, after receiving their gold medals. But it was just an unbelievable masterclass by the Hunters, all tournament long, really. And they are the only team that worked through and go through the Founders with a perfect record and an incredibly well-deserved win here in Calgary.
Rarely pushed, but when push came to shove in certain games, they always found a way to elevate their performances. Yes, individuals stood out at times. More impressively, their whole team was 1. And that is the difference maker.
For the moment you've all been waiting
Finally.
for.
It must have felt like an eternity
2025 Founders Cup champion.
since the game ended for the Hunters. They are going to be called over to get their picture with the trophy and the banner.
Canada Commissioner Randy Trovac, and your banner as presented by RMML Commissioner Ian Stewart.
What a feeling to set forward with a goal in the offseason and to finally be able to breathe easy after you've completed that goal. A feeling that not many get to achieve, but the Kahnawake Hunters have done exactly that. Finally, the Hunters can go home champions. One for one at the Founders Cup. What do you say, guys? 365 days. What do you say we do it again?
And that concludes the 2025 Founders Cup.
That's going to do it here on the broadcast. Cody Jansen and myself, Tino Farah. It's been an incredible run alongside BC Sports TV. Cameraman extraordinaire George Para. To our left, somewhere in the depths of the next booth across, Keith Gagne, the boss man. And of course, to all the players who have played a part in this tournament. It's one of my favorite tournaments of the year as a former Junior B player myself. And Cody, I know this has been one that you were excited to check off the bucket list. It's just been an unbelievable week from everybody involved. The Calgary Shamrocks organization, what a show we've seen over the past 7 days.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to the Shamrocks. I mean, incredible. It's been such a great week, and it's been awesome calling the game with you, with George, Keith, everyone from BC Sports TV. But the event itself, this showcased Alberta lacrosse at its best, and the Calgary Shamrocks just hosted what could be, deemed one of the best Founders Cup setups of all time. And Corey Highcamp, Jason Crooks, the entire Shamrocks organization has set the bar going forward, and I can't wait for 2026 in St. John, New Brunswick.
For one more time, for the entire cast of characters up here in the booth and beyond, for Cody Jansen, for cameraman extraordinaire George Para, for Keith Gagne, I've been Tino Farah. We've been BC Sports TV, and we will see you next time.